Hey everyone, here's day B of our ABC routine. This is our upper body workout. All we're gonna need for today is some sort of weight. I've got my case of water here. We're gonna need a towel roll, or you can roll up a t-shirt, and then we're just gonna need our water bottle. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna start, we just need that towel roll for this first circuit. We're placing it on the ground, we're gonna be laying face down. This towel roll can go right under our forehead, so we don't have to put our face on the floor. And we're gonna start with what are called shoulder cars. Stands for controlled articular rotations, right? We're starting with our forehead on that towel. One hand is going to be on the back of our head with our palm down. My other hand is on my low back with my palm up. Right, from here I'm going to make sure both my shoulders are down and back into good position. From here I'm just going to come out in a controlled manner to that T position, and then I'm just going to switch. Right, so now my right hand is on my head with the palm down. My left hand is on my low back with the palm up, and we're just going to alternate and repeat that movement. Should be slow and controlled. Right, nice smooth motion, making sure we stay on plane. And we're not letting those shoulders hike up towards our ears, and we're not letting them round forward, right? Pulling them down and back the whole time as we complete this movement. You're going to go 6 on each. 12 total. Second exercise, we're staying down here in this prone position. We're going to do what are called I's and then T's, right? So from here, staying in the same spot, right? My hands are going to be by my sides, my palms are facing down. From here, I'm going to roll my shoulders down and back into good position. I'm going to try and hold this position the entire time. And from here, I'm just going to lift my hands off the ground. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Control on the way down. I can reset if I need to after each rep. Make sure those shoulder blades are down and back. 3-second hold. And we're going to do 10 reps. Right? Use that 3-second hold to really try to feel those lower trap muscles kind of at the bottom of our shoulder blade. After we do 10 I's, we're going to bring our hands out into the T position. Our thumbs are facing up. Right? And from here again, we're setting our shoulder blades down and back into good position. We're going to lift off, hold for 3, 2, 1, back down, and again, we're going to do 10 3-second holds. Right, really trying to feel those muscles in between our shoulder blades for the T's. That's exercise number 2. Number 3 is we're doing what's called a push plank pike. Right, so we're just going to get in a push-up position. My hands are right underneath my shoulders. Right, my core is engaged. And from here, I'm just going to push the ground away from me and reach back towards my opposite foot. Come back down into that push-up position, and I'm just going to alternate. Right, our intention here is I'm really thinking about pushing the ground away from me in order to reach back towards my opposite foot. You don't have to touch your foot. Right, make sure we're hinging at the waist so that spine is staying nice and straight. Right, we're going to be working our core and also those upward rotators of our shoulder blades. 10 on each, 20 total. Final exercise in this warm-up circuit is we're just doing some quadruped T rotations. All right, so we're starting in a quadruped position. My hands are right underneath my shoulders, my knees are underneath my hips. From here, you're just gonna sit your butt back towards your heels, only as far back as we feel comfortable. Right? Then I'm gonna place one hand on the back side of my head, and then we're going to do our T rotation, which is we're going to bring elbow to elbow, elbow to ceiling, letting our eyes follow that elbow, and back down, elbow to elbow. Try to exhale as you rotate up. Right, that's actually going to help you. And back down. And we're just going elbow to elbow, elbow to ceiling. You're going to do 10 reps, letting the eyes follow. After 10 on one side, you're just going to flip. We got 10 on the other. All right, we should feel this between our shoulder blades, which is where our thoracic spine is, which is where all of our spinal rotation should actually come from. If we're feeling anything in our low back, right, really try to keep that core braced, and also try to sit your butt back towards your heels a little more, because that's going to help lock down our lumbar spine and prevent any rotation through that lumbar spine, which we shouldn't be rotating through at all. Right? It's those 4 exercises. We're going to do 3 times through. Feel free to pause the video here until you complete this circuit 3 times. For our second circuit, we've got 3 exercises. All we're gonna need is whatever weight we're using. So I've got my case of water here. We're gonna start with what are called push plank pull throughs. So I'm gonna get into a push-up position. All right, my hands are right underneath my shoulders, my core is engaged. All right, I'm pushing into that ground, so I'm strong through those shoulders. I'm not letting myself sink. And from here, I'm just gonna reach one hand underneath, grab my weight, pulling it through, and then I'm just gonna alternate hands, pull it back. All right? Notice how I'm controlling my hips, and I'm not letting them rotate. You really have to keep that core engaged in order to do so. All right, if this is very challenging, feel free to just get your feet a little bit wider as we do this. And you're gonna do 10 pulls each direction for a total of 20. Make sure you stay strong through that shoulder blade when you're pulling so you're not collapsing. That's exercise number 1. Number 2, we're just gonna flip onto our back. We've got some double arm chest presses. All right, we're grabbing our weight, holding it from the bottom, laying flat on our back. Right from here, making sure our shoulders are rotated down. Right, keep that core engaged, and you're just gonna slowly lower down. Once those elbows gently tap the ground, you're pushing right back up. Slow and controlled on the way down. We can come up as fast as we want. All right, make sure those elbows stay nice and tight to the body. Right, either have them graze your sides, or they can be out at a 45-degree angle. We just don't want them flaring out super wide. Right, because the tighter we keep them to the body, the more leverage we're actually gonna have. You're gonna do 15 double arm presses. Final exercise in this circuit is we're just gonna do what are called V-sit arm fans. Right, so I'm gonna get in a good V-sit position, which means my knees are bent, my heels are on the ground. Right, I'm gonna lean my torso back until I create a nice V between my thigh bone, my femur, and my torso. Right, so you're almost looking up towards the ceiling, so we're not rounding through our spine. Right, we really have to keep our core engaged in order to maintain this position. Right, from here, our arms are coming straight out in front of our chest, and we're just gonna let one fan out to the side till it's in line with our body, back up, and we're just gonna alternate. Right, really think about staying nice and long through that spine. Don't let yourself start to round and sink. You're gonna do 10 on each arm, 20 total. In order to make this more challenging, you got 2 options. Option 1, you can lift your heels off the ground. Right, and option 2 is we can just grab our water bottle to add a little weight to that rotation, right, as we come out to the side. You don't need much to make this a lot more challenging. 10 on each, 20 total. Those 3 exercises, 3 times through. We can pause the video here until we complete this circuit 3 times. For circuit number 3, we're gonna need our water bottle, our towel roll, and whatever we're using for our weight. We're gonna start laying on our side with our towel and our water bottle. We're just doing some shoulder external rotation. Right, so I'm laying completely on my side. My shoulders are stacked on top of one another. My hips are stacked. I'm gonna place this towel roll right underneath my elbow on my top side. Right, I'm pinning it there and I wanna keep it there the whole time. From here, I can take my opposite hand to support my head. I'm grabbing my weight, my palm is down. I'm making sure my shoulder is down and back into good position. And from here, I'm just going to raise up, pause for a second at the top, control on the way down. And we're gonna do 10 reps on each side. Right, we're coming up as high as we can. For me, that's about right here. Right, if I go up any higher, I'm gonna start to roll backwards with my body. Right, so we're only coming up as high as we can control ourselves from rolling back. Right, and after 10 reps, we're doing them nice and slow and controlled. We're really gonna start to feel that burn in the back side of the shoulder. Right, I've got a nice full water bottle here. This one does not take a whole lot of weight. If you start feeling that burn, you're really trying to focus on that motion coming from rotating that shoulder externally. 10 on each side. Exercise number 2 is we're getting in a plank position. We're doing what are called plank limb lifts. Right, so down on my forearms, I'm pushing into that ground, right? So I'm not letting myself sag. I'm pushed up into good position. From here, I'm just gonna lift each limb individually, right? So I'm gonna lift the foot, back down, foot, back down, tap one shoulder, tap the other shoulder, and that will be 1 rep, right? Foot, foot, tap, tap, right? Notice how I'm keeping my hips nice and level, right? You really have to push into the ground in order to be able to do that. If you want to make this a little more challenging, right, you can go ahead and instead of tapping the shoulders, right, you can do a reach out, reach. If you need to make it a little easier, when you do the taps, you can just leave your elbow on the ground when you tap. Right, we're going to do 10 lifts of each limb. That's exercise number 2. Number 3 is we're standing up. We're grabbing our case of water here. We're doing a bent over double arm row. Right, so I'm going to get a nice sturdy base. From here, I'm making sure, right, I sit my butt back. I'm going to hinge at my waist till I'm in this bent over position. Right, make sure that core is engaged so you're not letting yourself round. You're not letting yourself arch. Right, a nice straight protected spine. You're going to grab your weight, be in this bent over row position. Shoulders stay down away from the ears. We're just going to row up. Right? 1 second pause at the top. Control on the way down. Really thinking keep those elbows tight to the body. Driving them straight back behind you. You're going to do 15 double arm rows. If we don't have a case of water, or we feel like we need a little more support for our core in this position, right, we can do a single arm bent over row. Right, I've just got a bottle of laundry detergent here, and I'm bent over putting my hand on a chair to help support myself. Right, again, I'm still thinking about keeping that core engaged, a nice straight spine. My elbow is rowing up close to my body, thinking about driving it straight back. And keeping that shoulder down away from the ear. Do 15 on each arm. After we're done with the rows, exercise number 4 is just a double arm bicep curl. I'm grabbing my case of water on the inside. Right, again, I'm making sure my shoulders are down and back in a good position. I'm just going to curl up. Control slow on the way down. I'm just going to repeat. Right, making sure we keep good posture the whole time. My core is engaged, so I'm not leaning back. You're going to do 15 curls. And then we're going to repeat these 4 exercises 3 times through. Feel free to pause the video here until we've completed this circuit 3 times. All right, final circuit here. We're just going to need our weight. We've got my case of water. We've got 3 final exercises. Our first one is going to be some tempo push-ups. And all it means is we're getting in a good push-up position. Hands are under my shoulders, my core is engaged. And we're going to be doing what's called a 2-2-X tempo. Meaning I lower down for a count of 1, 2. I hold at the bottom for 1, 2. Pushing up fast. Right? 1, 2, 1, 2, up. Right? I'm pushing into the ground the whole time. Right? I never want myself to start sagging towards the ground, especially on the way down, and I'm not letting myself sag. I'm always pushing into that ground. Right? So I maintain that good humeral head centration. Pushing myself up after a 2-second hold at the bottom. Right? You're going to go for 10 reps or until failure. Good luck with that one. Exercise number 2 is we're going to be laying on our back. We're doing some skull crushers. Right? Flat on our back. I'm going to grab on the inside. So I find this better turned over. I'm going to grab on the inside. I'm actually going to grab a water bottle. Right? From here, I'm starting with my hands up over my head. Right? And I'm just going to let my elbows bend as I control this weight coming overhead. Right before it taps the ground, I'm just going to extend and push right back up. Slow, 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 slow on the way down. Control it. Let those elbows bend. Pushing up at the top. All right, we're working the triceps, back side of the upper arm here. You're going to do 15 reps. Slow and controlled on the way down. Then up as fast as you want. Final exercise here is we're just going to be doing some push plank leg switches. All right, so we're, again, getting in that push-up position. Right, pushing into that ground. And from here, I'm going to come up. Right, I'm going to start with one leg up in the air. Right, making sure my spine is nice and flat. I don't want to start rounding. And then from here, I'm just going to switch my legs. Right, kick that other leg straight back. Right, I'm squeezing that butt muscle. And I'm going to switch. Right, make sure you are in full control until you start the next rep. All right, so we're not just doing mountain climbers here. I really want you to focus on keeping that core engaged, that spine nice and straight. Right, the faster you drive up, the more challenging it's going to be to stick it. You're going to do 10 on each, 20 total. And controlling those hips, making sure we push into the ground to stabilize. Those 3 exercises, 3 times through. And then we're done.